still waking up to pee in the middle of the night and wondering why it keeps happening. You go to bed hoping for a full night of sleep, but then it happens again. You wake up, you walk to the bathroom, you come back to bed, and your sleep is already broken. Now think about this. At first it feels normal. You tell yourself it is just part of getting older. Something everyone experiences, something you cannot really control. But what if that is not the full story? What if your body is trying to tell you something? Because waking up once in a while may not seem like a problem. But when it starts happening regularly, when it interrupts your sleep again and again, it becomes something worth paying attention to. Now here is the important part. Your sleep is not just about rest. It is when your body recovers, when your system resets, when your balance is restored. And when that process is interrupted, even in small ways, it begins to affect how you feel the next day. Now imagine this. You wake up tired. You feel low energy. You feel slightly off, and you do not always connect it to your sleep. But your body does. Now think about what happens during the night. Your body is supposed to slow down. Your system is supposed to relax. Your bladder activity is supposed to reduce so you can stay asleep. But when something in that process changes, you wake up. Now here is the key idea. Waking up to pee is not always random. It is often connected to patterns, daily habits, timing, and how your body is functioning. Now imagine this. You drink fluids late in the evening. You stay active right before bed. You follow the same routine every day without questioning it. Now those habits become patterns, and those patterns affect your night. Now here is something most people do. They guess. They try random solutions. They reduce water completely. They ignore the problem. Or they assume nothing can be done. But what if the solution is not random? What if it is about understanding your body, understanding your routine, and making small adjustments? Now imagine having clarity, knowing what might be causing it, knowing what you can change. Now you are not guessing anymore. Now you are in control. Now here is something very important. This is not about complicated treatments. It is not about extreme changes. It is about simple awareness. Because once you understand the pattern, you can change it. Now think about this. How many times has this happened to you? You wake up, you check the time, you feel frustrated, you go back to bed, but your sleep is already disturbed. Now imagine changing that experience. Imagine sleeping longer, waking up less, feeling more rested. Now your entire day feels different. Now here is the key idea. Small changes in your routine can create noticeable differences in your sleep. Now imagine identifying what is affecting your body, adjusting your habits, improving your routine. Now over time, your body responds. Now your nights become smoother. Now your sleep becomes deeper. Now your mornings feel better. Now here is something most people miss. They focus only on the symptom, but not the cause. Now imagine focusing on the cause. Now your solution becomes clear. Now in this video, you are going to understand why this keeps happening, what patterns may be affecting your sleep, and what simple steps you can take to reduce those night interruptions so you can finally rest properly. Because sometimes it is not about doing more. It is about understanding what your body needs and making the right adjustments at the right time. And that is where real improvement begins. Now let us start with something very important, why this keeps happening. Because once you understand the reason everything becomes clearer, most people think waking up at night to pee is just a normal part of aging. Something that cannot be changed, something you just have to live with, but that is not always true. Because your body follows patterns. And when something changes in that pattern, your sleep gets interrupted. Now think about this. Your body is designed to rest at night. Your system slows down. Your brain relaxes. Your organs reduce activity. And your bladder is supposed to stay quiet so you can sleep. But when something interferes with that process, you wake up. Now here is the key idea. This is not always random. There is usually a reason behind it. Now imagine this. You drink water or other fluids late in the evening. Your body processes that over time. Now during the night, your bladder fills. Now your body signals you to wake up. Now think about this. It may seem simple, but timing matters. Because your body responds to when you do things, not just what you do. Now imagine adjusting that timing. Now your body begins to respond differently. Now your night becomes smoother. Now let us go deeper, because fluids are only one part. Now think about your daily habits. What you do throughout the day affects your night. Now imagine this. You stay inactive for long periods. Your circulation slows down. Fluid begins to collect in your lower body. Now when you lie down at night, that fluid shifts. Now your body processes it. Now your bladder fills. Now you wake up. Now here is something very important. Your body is always balancing fluids. And your movement during the day plays a role in that. Now imagine staying active, moving regularly. Now your body handles fluids differently. Now your system becomes more balanced. Now let us move to another factor, because sometimes it is not just about habits. It is about how your body is functioning. Now think about this. As your body changes, different systems respond differently. Your bladder may become more sensitive. Your signals may change. Now even small amounts can wake you up. Now here is the key idea. Awareness matters, because once you notice patterns, you can adjust them. Now imagine this. You start paying attention. When do you drink fluids? What do you do before bed? How often do you wake up? Now you begin to see a pattern. Now that pattern gives you clarity. Now you are no longer guessing. Now let us go deeper again, because your evening routine matters more than you think. Now imagine this. You stay active late at night. You use screens. You keep your body alert. Now your system does not fully relax. Now your sleep becomes lighter. Now even small signals wake you up. Now here is the key idea. Your body needs a transition from activity to rest. Now imagine slowing down before bed, reducing stimulation, allowing your body to settle. Now your sleep becomes deeper. Now interruptions reduce. Now let us take a step back. So far you have seen fluid timing, daily movement, body changes, evening routine, all connected. Now here is the pattern. These are not isolated factors. They work together. Now imagine improving them one by one. Now your routine becomes stronger. Now your body responds. Now your sleep improves. Now here is something very important. You do not need to change everything at once. You just need to start noticing, because awareness leads to change. Now imagine this. You notice one habit, you adjust it. Now you notice another. Now your routine improves step by step. Now your system adapts. Now your nights become smoother. Now your sleep becomes deeper. Now your mornings feel better. Now here is the key takeaway from this part. Waking up at night is often connected to patterns, not random events. And once you understand those patterns, you can change them. Now take a moment and ask yourself, what might be affecting your night? Because that answer is the starting point. Now imagine improving that pattern. Now over time, your body responds. Now your sleep improves. Now your routine becomes more balanced. Now here is the important part. This is just the beginning. Because in the next part, we are going to look at simple, practical steps, things you can actually do to reduce these interruptions and take control of your nights. Because once you understand what to do, everything becomes easier. And that is where real improvement begins. Now let us move to the practical part, because understanding the reason is important. But knowing what to do is what actually creates change. Now think about this. You do not need complicated solutions. You need simple steps that you can follow every day. Steps that fit naturally into your routine. Now let us begin with the first step, adjusting your fluid timing. Now imagine this. You drink most of your fluids earlier in the day, morning and afternoon. And as the evening comes, you slowly reduce intake. Not completely, but gradually. Now your body has time to process fluids before sleep. Now your bladder is less active during the night. Now your sleep becomes smoother. Now here is the key idea. It is not about drinking less. It is about drinking at the right time. Now imagine making this one adjustment. Now your routine already begins to improve. Now let us move to the second step, supporting your body with movement. Now think about your day. Do you move regularly? Or do you sit for long periods? Now imagine adding small movement throughout your day. Standing up every hour, walking for a few minutes, stretching your legs. Now your circulation improves. Now your body handles fluids more efficiently. Now your system becomes more balanced. Now here is something very important. You do not need intense exercise. Simple movement is enough. Now imagine doing this consistently. Now your body adapts. Now your nights improve. Now let us move to the third step, creating a calming evening routine. Now think about what you do before bed. Do you stay active? Do you use your phone? Do you keep your mind engaged? Now imagine doing the opposite. You slow down. You reduce screen time. You allow your body to relax. Now your system prepares for sleep. Now your sleep becomes deeper. Now here is the key idea. Your body needs a transition from activity to rest. Now imagine giving your body that transition. Now your night becomes more stable. Now let us move to the fourth step, going to the bathroom before sleep. Now this may sound simple, but it matters. Now imagine making it part of your routine, right before bed. Now your bladder starts the night empty. Now interruptions may reduce. Now here is the key idea. Small habits create noticeable differences. Now imagine combining this with fluid timing. Now your results improve further. Now let us go deeper, because consistency matters. Now imagine trying these steps once. Nothing changes. Now imagine repeating them daily. Now your body adapts. Now your system responds. Now your nights improve. Now here is something most people miss. They try something for a short time, then stop. Now imagine staying consistent. Now your routine becomes stronger. Now your results become long-term. Now let us bring everything together. Fluid timing, regular movement, calm evening routine, bathroom before sleep. Simple steps, easy to follow. Now imagine applying them daily. Now your pattern changes. Now your body responds. Now your sleep improves. Now here is the key benefit. You are not guessing anymore. You are making intentional changes. Now you feel more in control. Now let us go even deeper, because your mindset also matters. Now imagine thinking this cannot change. Now you do nothing. Now the pattern continues. Now imagine believing small changes can help. Now you take action. Now your routine improves. Now your results improve. Now here is the key idea. Awareness and action together create change. Now imagine being aware of your habits and taking small steps. Now your system begins to shift. Now your nights become smoother. Now your sleep becomes deeper. Now your mornings feel better. Now here is something very important. You do not need perfection. You just need consistency. Now imagine doing these steps most days. Now your body adapts. Now your system becomes more balanced. Now your results become more noticeable. Now take a moment and ask yourself, which one of these steps can you start today? Because real change starts small. Now imagine starting with one step, then adding another. Now your routine grows stronger. Now your body responds. Now your nights improve. Now your sleep becomes more restful. Now here is the key takeaway from this part. Simple practical steps can reduce night interruptions when used consistently. Now imagine applying this daily. Now your pattern changes. Now your system improves. Now here is the important part. This is not the end, because in the next part we are going to bring everything together and give you a clear, simple routine so you can follow it easily without confusion. Because once everything is clear, taking action becomes easy. And that is where real improvement begins.